I wanted to ask you to make a distinction between goal setting in a normal situation and goal setting in a situation like today where there's so much of uncertainty. So, what really is the main difference, and is there a difference to start with?
Uh, I think the one important factor when you look at what's really happening now is that maybe some of us would feel the need to become more aware of a structured goal setting process. Because there is uncertainty, there are lots of fears, a lot of us are going through all kinds of insecurity. Our thought process would not be what it was some time back. Some of us, some people may have planned to get married in these months. There were others who had vacations planned. There were others who had different targets and so on and so forth. But it's all sort of shifted. It's all out of the window because everything shifted so instantaneously. So, yes, in that sense, maybe it's more important to understand the structure of what goal setting really is now and how it can help us really go through these times. So, if I may, let me just point out some aspects based on one study that they did in Yale at USA. And this is very interesting, Monish. When I first heard about it 20 years back, it was a revelation in itself. And the study at Yale was all about, they took a group of participants in 1953 and they asked these people to write down, which is critical here, to write down what is it that they want, to write down their goals, all areas of their life, be it their career, be it financial goals, be it personal goals, be it health goals, be it relationship goals, and so on and so forth. At the end of that, after 20 years, 1973, they got in touch with the living members of that participant group and they wanted to research, they wanted to see what really came out of that. And they found something very intriguing. They found that the 3% of the people who had written down their goals specifically in terms of what, following the process or what was suggested, were better off financially than the other 97% combined. When they saw that kind of result on the financial segment, they became even more interested in seeing what else had happened in their lives. And they discovered that even in terms of relationships, there were less divorces within this group. So they were much more stable in their relationships. They were far more happier. And all the other subjective parameters of health and life and happiness seem to be much more in just the 3% of the people than the other 97% concerned. And that's when